Hello everyone and welcome to Campus Channel. I'm here with KEDGE Business School and we're going to be talking about a new program this year, the MSc in Business Transformation for Sustainability, Make Your Future Sustainable. In order to talk about this MSc, I have the pleasure to welcome the director, Fiammetta Caccioli. How are you, Fiammetta?
Very good, Guillaume. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very well, thank you. I wasn't expecting that question. And not a student, Gilles Tisserand. Who are you? Tell us.
Not a student indeed. I'm actually the Vice President for Climate and Biodiversity at Tetra Pak, the leading company in packaging, processing solutions in the food industry. And I'm here to be with Fiammetta and discuss about the need of companies when it comes to sustainability and sustainability transformation.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming. Welcome here. You're both here to answer my questions, but first let's start with the pitch. The pitch is a 60-second talk in which, Fiammetta, you're going to have to tell us everything that we need to know about this new MSc. Are you ready, Fiammetta?
I'm ready indeed, Guillaume.
Then I'm listening to you.
Very good. Well, some 70,000 years ago, Homo sapiens members go down from 10,000 roughly to a few hundred. That was during Ice Age. And can you imagine extinction nearly happened? Well, paleontologists think that our survival is due to adaptation and cooperation. Humankind has always had the capability, when facing new challenges, of working together in order to create new ideas and create sustainable solutions. The development of this same capability is the purpose of the brand new Business Transformation for Sustainability Master of Science in KEDGE. In response to the unprecedented environmental and social changes that we are facing today, the MSc builds on cooperation, innovation, and knowledge in order to equip students for the new era. Graduates will be trained to drive transformation and create sustainable vision. So here is a message for our future students. Come and make a difference in this world. Embark with us in this transformational journey.
Well, thank you. What a pitch. Thank you very much, Fiammetta. Let's start with the first questions. What is sustainability transformation according to KEDGE Business School?
Well, when we talk about sustainability transformation, we're talking about participating to the creation of a new world. And we, all of us, individuals, organizations, companies, have a role to play in this transformation. There is something that can be done differently in order to create a more sustainable world. And we believe in KEDGE that at the heart of this transformation there is a notion of value creation. The possibility of creating value for the different stakeholders, for corporations and other stakeholders as well, that is sustainable. Now, creating value in a more sustainable way means looking at other kinds of indicators and looking for profitability and shared value rather than just profit for corporations.
Gilles, which hard and soft skills are specific to sustainability transformation?
I think if you look at the past of, how sustainability has been taught in school, it was at first a lot about science. And that's the reason why when we look at the profile of people that have been working on sustainability, it's a lot of engineers in food, in agriculture, in forestry. And that's pretty, interesting. We need to work on a science-based approach to create the change. But what we do realize now is that on top of those, I would say, science capabilities, as you mentioned, we need to have some very strong soft skills, if you can say, management skills, to drive the transformation of the system, of the processes, of the governance. And that's where I think the MSc is the perfect spot to enable students to really learn about how to create change within a company, beyond the company, with all the stakeholders.
Fiammetta, to help us understand what KEDGE Business School is looking for, how would you envision a future student of this program? What would be their soft skills, their hard skills, their link with sustainability? What would be their academic background?
It is a question that we've been asked, by the recruitment teams in the school as well. And the reason why it's not easy to answer is that we do have a very clear vision about the students that we would like to have. We would like to have a cohort as diverse as possible, composed by people who have a personal project. The recruitment process that is still going on through now shows to us that some students come from very different backgrounds. Some come from business schools, some others have had other careers before, they're changing careers now. We've been having students that have been studying chemistry in the aviation industry, architects. And what we find in common and what we really appreciate is that motivation, the profound motivation of wanting to make a difference in this world. And it's something that we're going to leverage in the program as well. It's the alignment between the personal transformation and the organizational transformation, because we do believe we want our students to become catalysts and to be able to go out there afterwards and to make a difference within corporations. And for that, we want them to be able to engage into a personal transformation process as well. That happens also thanks to the business cases that we're going to work upon together with our partner companies, among which Tetra Pak.
So you mentioned business case, and maybe Gilles, you can help us to tell us more about the typical assignments that students would be given, for example.
Yeah, and typically what we've been discussing with Fiammetta and the whole KEDGE team, in the case of Tetra Pak, is really to work on the customer sustainability, meaning also the product sustainability. If I look at what I drive in my job, I drive the radical decarbonization of our value chain, how we produce, what we source, and also what we sell. And when we talk about sustainability transformation, it's actually about changing the business models to make sure that it's profitable, sustainable as well. And in this specific case for the MSc, we will be looking at how we can better engage our own customers, in that case the leading brands of food typically, so that they can buy and use our best sustainable solutions. What's in it for them? So we need to make sure that we are able to translate the sustainability value. So it's all that type of questions, problematics that we are looking into. And again, it's at the heart of sustainability, business model, engagement model, collaboration. So pretty exciting, I think.
Fiammetta, since it's a new program, when is it best for a student to apply? Should they apply now?
Well, it is still possible to apply now for the new cohort that is opening in September this year.
All right, because I haven't mentioned, but you have long track and short track.
That's correct.
Okay,
yes.
Can you tell us the difference?
Absolutely,
maybe?
yes. So there are basically different possibilities to join the program. One is to join the long track year. This year is by September, which runs from September for a whole academic year until June next year. And then those students, as by September 2023, they will join the specific MSc Business Transformation for Sustainability. There is also another possibility, students that already have a first year master's degree level, they can join straight into the MSc Business Transformation for Sustainability as by September. And there is also another solution, which is the condensed track, which allows students to follow the M1 as by June until August. So those are the three possibilities in terms of enrollment.
And what's the admission process for the short track? If I just want to go right into the MSc straight away, what's the admission process?
Well, all you need to do is log on to the internet, download the brochure, ask to be contacted, and an interview will be scheduled within the following week.
Okay, so maybe could you tell us what the questions you're going to be asked? You're going to ask, during the interview?
Absolutely. Well, normally what we aim for during the interview, as Jill was saying before, what we aim is to see, first of all, the interest related to sustainability issues from a more quote technical point of view, the technical solutions that can be put in place in terms, for example, of cross-sector collaboration or new business modeling. So we're going to ask candidates to submit an assignment related to a slightly more technical point. And then there is going to be the interview, and the interview is there to get to know each other, and is there as well to assess, as Jill was saying, as well the soft skills that the candidate will have. Because once again, we would like the candidate, the students to be able to engage into this transformational process. So we need them as well to have this sort of, to be open-minded and the agility that it takes to do as well, engage into such a process and collaborate with the other students, collaborate with the companies, and somehow engage into a process that it's transformational from a business point of view, but a personal point of view as well.
Gilles, from a corporate point of view, how can you ensure that KEDGE Business School is not just following a trend?
Well, I think they are not following a trend in the sense that I personally, and my whole company, actually my whole team, lacks this kind of profile that you were describing, Fiammetta. My team has been historically, again, made of technical people, and I'm trying to recruit people coming from a marketing background, a business background, but what we miss is that link. And the transformation of our industry, and here I talk about Tetra Pak, actually will succeed only through collaboration. And that's where, again, we need to have those different skills, hard skills on business model, on engagement, soft skills on conviction and how to drive a discussion. So to me, KEDGE is not actually following the trend. They are the trendsetter in the sense that they are the first or among the first to finally put together a program that puts sustainability transformation at the heart of what they do. So it's not a satellite topic, nice to have as a marketing claim. No, it's really about the transformation. And honestly, that's what all companies need now to drive proper transformation of the business model and therefore succeed in the sustainability transformation of the world.
Fiammetta, can you walk us through the whole program?
Absolutely, with pleasure, Guillaume. Thank you very much. The first one is a block on value creation, sustainable value creation. Then there is another block which is related to cross-sector collaboration, because there is a notion as well of being able to speak languages, different kind of languages. It has been proven by research that companies that have successfully engaged into sustainable transformation are companies that are able as well to engage with other partners, with NGOs, with consumers, with suppliers. So there is something about being able to speak another language rather than just a corporate language, and to collaborate with different stakeholders. So there is a whole module related to cross-sector collaboration and communication. Then, as Gilles was saying, there is this notion as well of driving change. So there is a module that is related to change management at a societal, organizational, and personal point of view. What does it mean to create the conditions for the right kind of leadership as well to be there in order to make a difference, to allow people to take initiatives and create more sustainable ways as well of envisioning business and creating processes, because you cannot change the process if you don't bring the people along. And then last but not least, you always need as well, in terms of legitimacy and in terms of knowledge, a whole baggage that is more related to tool and techniques, in terms of reporting, in terms of finance, communication, climate, supply chain. Now, those are the 4 different blocks: value creation, stakeholder cross-sector collaboration, change management, methods and tools, and all this is developed within a framework that is open and closed by 2 different sustainability factories. We actually start with a journey towards the future. We start with the first journey of science fiction, and we bring the students to a dystopic future, and we start from where we don't want to be. What is the 2050 we don't want? And then we come back and we bring back all these little DNA pieces, and we try and fit them back to the future that we actually want to build. And we're going to work on a personal point of view about the role that we as persons would like to have in such a transition, and then we're going to feed as well, once again, infuse that personal vision within the challenges and the cases that are proposed by corporations. Those cases are going to become the backbone of the program. So students are going to work on those cases all along the program, and then at the end there is going to be another sustainability factory during which they will pitch the solutions that they will have been working upon in a co-construction approach with the companies.
Well, thank you for this time traveling journey, Fiammetta. It's time for our first break. Sorry, let's move on to the clichés. the clichés are the preconceptions that someone might have had, I don't know, regarding sustainability transformation, regarding KEDGE Business School, regarding a business school, I don't know, you name it. Gilles, what would be the first cliché that comes to your mind?
What I keep on hearing is that when you start working in sustainability, you're stuck in sustainability. And somehow, I think it might be still perceived as a kind of a gateway track or lower value track. And I actually strongly believe the opposite, and I don't say that because I've made that choice. I've moved from marketing to sustainability because of purpose, and actually because I strongly believe that we need to transform companies from the inside. But to me, actually, sustainability and sustainability transformation specifically is at the heart of where all companies will focus in the at least next 20 years. It's actually... Hopefully, yeah, or actually even more, because that needs to become consistent. What's very interesting, if you look at the latest World Economic Forum in Davos, 100% of the discussion were on sustainability, and all the CEOs, they are talking about sustainability transformation. So I strongly believe actually that all the next CEOs will be people that have been trained on sustainability transformation and actually have been in position to transform their company, because at the end of the day, it's about thinking the business model for your company to be sustainable in the long term. And if you don't think about transforming your business model, you're out of the game. And that's why I think that this cliché that I mentioned, sustainability being a sidetrack, is totally untrue anymore. And that's also why we need to have a strong profile that can become tomorrow's next CEO.
Well, thank you for making that very clear. Fiammetta, what would be the first list that comes to your mind?
They say that 46% of young people, between the age of 18 to 24, they want to engage into a company that has a real social impact. So there is something, about, coming from, the new generations, the millennials. And as well, as Gilles was saying, if you look at top down, Accenture, they made the research already by 2019, and 99% of the CEOs of companies that had more than 1 billion revenue said that sustainability is crucial for the future of their business. So it is a real question for companies, and companies know they need to engage. Now, they do not always know how. This is why they need the people that are able to develop a vision and change and engage and make a difference.
Okay, so they're looking for people, and maybe Gilles, you partially answered that question, but do you think, I'm sure it's going to be yes, but do you think employers are looking for any specific skills in sustainability graduates? Are they looking for any specific skills, and how will this program impart these skills?
So the answer is yes, we are, and I'm myself with my company Trapac, we are looking for new graduates that are able to drive that transformation. If I come back to the program that KEDGE is building around this new MSc, I see actually two main of your pillars, modules, as you call it, that are critical. The number one is about change management. So the ability to create the conditions for change within your company, across your value chain with the external stakeholders. And that is critical because you need to embark people into your journey, and it's hard. So you need to be convincing. You also need to go through acceptance, grief sometimes of sometimes of business. So that's critical. And we don't see it enough, I would say, in general, even more when we talk about change management on sustainability. Second module that I think is critical is the inter-category, inter-companies, inter-topics discussion. So being able to talk at the same time and actually putting together an NGO, a supplier, a customers, maybe a deputies. I think this is critical, and that ability to put around the table an ecosystem is critical. So that ecosystem thinking is something that I think the MSc has really well identified and that will benefit all companies.
This MSc is starting in 2022. How can you assure your students that this program will be efficient enough for them to find a job when they graduate from it?
Well, this is a very good question, and we asked ourselves that question as well when we built the program. And the question we asked is, what will graduates need to be able to do once they've graduated, to go out there and make a difference. And we answered ourselves with the idea that they need the knowledge, but they also need the skills. Having the skills means having as well some sort of practical knowledge. You see, I was saying before, during the program, the students will be working upon transformational challenges, that are given to them by companies. And the idea is that during the program, they are exposed, as Gilles was saying, to a whole ecosystem of companies, NGOs, experts, regulators, as well as professors as well, and practitioners. And as well, what they'll be doing is that all the knowledge that they gather through the content of the different modules and this exposure to the ecosystem, they will feed it into the projects that they'll be working upon. So they will have actually, during the program, been working on transformational issues. So they will finish the MSc with an experience already, having tried to have a vision, to build a vision, to bring the people along, to make it happen. And this is something that is really important for companies, because as I was saying before, companies are looking as well for new solutions. And finding new solutions means as well having people that are able to ask new questions.
And what sort of things will graduate do then? What kind of job precisely? Because we keep saying companies are looking for sustainability transformers.
Yes.
But where? What exactly would they be doing?
Well, as Gilles was saying before, we have noticed a trend on the labor market. As by now already, in France, 4 million jobs out of 29 million are somehow related to sustainability. Until a few years ago, those positions were more or less linked to more technical aspects, as Gilles was saying. And little by little, what we observe is that companies are looking for people who are able to cover positions that are more related to value creation, so strategic, higher managerial positions, if you like. So typically, the MSc prepares for a position like that in terms of value creation, sustainable value creation, strategic value creation. So business management, and value creation with a capital V. Not just, because having followed the MSc, graduates will also be able to cover positions related to consultancy and advisory, from within or outside the organizations. When we're talking about change management, we are talking about changing the system from within or from without as well, so from outside as well. So the other possibility in terms of perspective is positions related to advisory or consultancy. Graduates from the MSc will be able as well to drive transformational projects across the organization. So those are all positions that are more related to transversal project manager, and big companies do need, those kind of positions in order to make sure that the change happens. So this is the other category of positions that are possible for graduates, are positions related to project management. And as well, as we were saying before, there are still positions related to reporting, to finance, to supply chain, to circular economy, and this is something that the MSc prepares very strongly for.
Gilles, I saw you being very reactive to what asked questions. Do you want to add anything else?
No, I just want to concur on what you said. I think, first of all, when I look at the consulting world, it's actually amazing to see that the Bain and the BCG of this world, they are all buying right now some environmental boutique, as we call it, kind of consulting agency. So it shows that there's a high demand for all the companies to structure that transformation. So clearly there's a big area on that one. Within companies as such, what I see talking with my colleagues from other companies, typically there are many jobs around project management, so how to drive projects around energy, renewable electricity, climate activities within the operations or beyond. So many jobs around project management, and I'm sure that you will have actually profile of people coming from that world. And you also mentioned supply chain, and this is critical, especially at an age where, because of globalization, we are highly dependent on resources coming from all over the world, and the question of sustainable supply chain is at the heart of what the supply chain will do, and therefore those people need also to be equipped. So it's not like I think there's one single type of position we can get. There's a broad demand out there, which I'm sure will fit the past experience from the candidate students and what they want to do in the future. It's actually quite open today, and we are fighting to get the right profile. But we also, I'm personally very demanding when it comes to capability. So once again, I think KEDGE, because of the overall KEDGE brand, serious about the program, because it's good to have science behind that, is also a very strong reassurance. So that's a very good mix.
Gilles, is it too late to save the world?
It's never too late to save the world. And I'm part of those people that wakes up every morning and asks myself, okay, what can I do today? And I know that I can have an impact through what my company does. Again, what we do directly at Tetra Pak and what we do together with our partners and suppliers. I'm very proud to have engaged suppliers into a sustainability journey. I'm very proud to have engaged many brands that you buy in supermarket into producing with lower carbon solutions. And that's one way to add one little brick to this need. But it's never too late to change the world. And I have to say, it has to go also through the companies. So NGOs plays a fantastic world. We need them. We need citizens. We need the companies to create the change. So it's time to act now and be trained to act now.
Well, thank you for this glimmer of hope, Gilles, and let's move on to extra time. I'm happy that you are more optimistic than I am, because like you're the professional, I'm not. Gilles, Fiammetta, extra time is like 2 minutes left that we have, and it's a conclusion, something maybe we haven't said yet, and you really want to make sure that you can say it, or maybe something we've already said and you want to highlight it. Gilles, what would be your conclusion?
Well, I was a student maybe 15, 20 years ago, and I want to say that I wish we had that type of MSc available. And I want to address to all the students out there, the candidates, apply and make it happen, create the change. You have with that MSc the opportunity to be surrounded by plenty of companies like Tetra Pak and others, I guess, fantastic students. So go for it and create the change you want to see in the world.
Thank you, Gilles. Fiammetta?
Well, there is one thing that I'm very proud about this program, is the fact that it connects two different pillars that are very important. It's the academic content, and the academic content is very strong because professors teaching in the program are all members of the Excellence Center for Sustainability in KEDGE, which is one of the main in the world. So the content is research related, which means that in terms of innovation, students will have access to a very high level in terms of academic content. And as well, I'm very proud of the possibility that we had of associating that with ecosystem to which students will be exposed, thanks to the collaboration with partner companies that were put in place, like Tetra Pak. And what we aim for is building a collective adventure, a transformational journey. And what we're looking for is students that want to play the game, they want to be game changers, and we want to be there with them, for them, and make it happen.
Thank you, Fiammetta. Thank you, Gilles. Thanks to the two of you for answering all my questions. If you're looking to change the world, save the world, care for the world, well, apply now. It's at KEDGE Business School. It's the new program, MSc in Business Transformation for Sustainability. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.